Welcome back to another one take, and this time we're taking a look at the Grozovoi. And this is a ship I really don't play all that often, I'm gonna be honest with you, but I think we can make it work today. I hope so. I do like to run this ship more as a gunboat. So, taking a look at the commander, this is what I've got at the moment. You notice no concealment. We're taking something like Fearless Brawler. It really does help this ship to open water gunboat. You get a nice main battery firing range, unlike something like the Khaba, where you're limited a little bit more on your main gun range. The Grozovoi has quite a bit of range, and that includes main battery and AA expert, so we're getting that extra range there. You will notice, though, I don't have main battery and AA specialist, so we're missing a little bit of reload. I think it's pretty important to take superintendent, and I think survivability expert as well. You're no longer a very healthy destroyer. When this ship came in, it was one of the most healthy destroyers in the game, just because we didn't really have that many DDs, of course, and especially DDs with heals. That really wasn't a thing. But nowadays, we have a lot more healthy destroyers with a lot more healing. So you really aren't as... I don't know if tanky is the right word for a destroyer, but you just don't have the survivability compared to other DDs like you used to. So I think getting the extra heal, since you only get 2 consumables for your speed boost, heal, and smoke, getting that up to 3 with superintendent is pretty important. So the defensive fire used to be amazing, but it's not as powerful as it used to be, that's for sure. Here's the upgrades that we're running. Pretty standard, I'd say, as far as a gunboat goes. You notice reload here instead of torpedo tubes or auxiliary armaments. I think you probably go legendary mod or unique upgrade if you've got it, since the torps aren't all that great, so getting that extra reload time is pretty nice on this ship, honestly. I just don't have that upgrade, so I'm not actually able to run it. Let's head into a match and see how this thing does. Without concealment, it's going to be a little tricky. We're going to have to be careful around other destroyers, especially since we don't have things like radar that a lot of the newer European destroyers have. At least the premium ones do, or the ones for steel do. So got to watch out for those, of course. So we're not going to play too aggressive. This is more of a supporting DD and capping if we absolutely have to, but we really don't want to just send it in for caps at this point. We have a Shokaku, which can be annoying, but it's not the end of the world. And not very many tier 10s in this one, just a lot of tier 10 DDs. And looking at their side, we should beat all of these in a gunfight. And even if our DPM isn't quite up to scratch, which it should be, we have a heal. And only their Holland has that. So we're looking pretty good. Buffalo, Moskva, of course, we're going to have to watch out for their radars. But honestly, this game is looking like it could work out pretty well. A lot of battleships to farm damage off of. Not that that should be your only goal, but it's a nice goal to have. It certainly can be a really good thing to do in a ship like this one. Now, no submarines, so we don't have to worry about that. Of course, you have depth charges, launch off the back, I assume. We'll test that in 5 seconds or so. But you really don't want to push into submarines as a destroyer. That's a great way to get yourself spotted and killed. And yes, it is off the back, so you have to get right over top of the enemy submarine if you want to do any damage to them. It certainly lasts a long time, though, so you should kill the sub if you manage to stay on top of them for a long time. You'll notice the direction I'm going in, it's very intentional. You know, we spawned back here, but our team spawned 2 destroyers here and only 1 out here, and it's a tier 9. So going out to the A flank, maybe dipping a toe into B, is our best bet, I think, just because our team needs the support over there. It seems like the enemy CV is also focused on C, so going somewhere where he's not is also a really, really nice thing for us. I think I'm actually going to try and hit this cap up just really quick, because their Shima, you noticed, was forced away, so we can actually push this relatively easily, I hope. We're not RPF'd, so it's unlikely there's going to be RPF torps for us. Something you do have to watch out for, though, of course, is this ship's lack of maneuverability. It's a bit of a brick. And okay, Elbing's over there. Honestly, our Z46 getting to that island is pretty sweet. And it really does allow us to be pretty aggressive over on that flank. His hydro is going to be awesome over there. If you're wondering why I'm torping there, it's just in case the Shima comes back, honestly. I don't really care if they come over and take this cap. I just want to get it early and then go support at A, because we're going to need some fire support there since it's a Tirpitz and a Z46 at the moment. And we're spotted, so that's probably the Shima. Pop defensive fire. We got the cap, so it's all good. The A. Not amazing. Not amazing. It's okay. It's not amazing. Well, I should have slowed down. That's my bad. We're gonna eat that one. You don't expect the widespread to perfectly hit you. I noticed he was coming in at a weird angle, and he wouldn't get he wouldn't get a accurate drop off. So I assumed that the randomness of those spreads would be something that I wouldn't have to deal with all that much, but apparently we do. That's okay though. It's just adrenaline rush. Now we get to make use of this amazing range. Have a good time trying to farm these guys out. Panto is looking over here, so we'll see if we actually end up needing to dodge his salvo. Let's see. Looks like it whiffed, so we're all good here. Lepanto and all the Italian battleships, for that matter, are pretty hard to farm out just because they have tiny superstructures. So it's a little bit tough. Got an Elbing. He's going to go forward. It's unfortunate the CV just is coming back for me. You really don't want to see that, honestly. I hate to ramble on all the time about CVs, but they just keep coming, and there's just really no counterplay, you know? What is there to do? You know, what is there to do? It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. But hey, he just keeps coming for us, so we'll just keep shooting his planes down, I guess, and he'll keep printing more on his ship, and that'll be that. It's just a little disappointing, the game design, but that's okay. We can continue to farm this Lepanto here. She doesn't have fire prevention. It's kind of interesting. We'll see if we can get ourselves a second fire on him. Really not doing an amazing job of getting damage in this one, but really there's not a lot of opportunities for it. This is really not the kind of game you want to see in a destroyer, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm really not sure what to do in this one. If I'm honest with you guys, I'm really not sure what I should do. Yeah, he's just gonna keep coming with planes, man. I fat-fingered the heel. That's so frustrating. Oh well, we'll just smoke up. Really, dude? Really? Okay, at least he got absolutely nuked. And he whiffed. Man, that guy's thirsty. Like, I guess I'd be more okay with CVs in the game if there was something to prevent them from just only focusing on target. I don't know. That would be kind of gimmicky, and I don't know how they'd implement it. But it's pretty frustrating. You know, if you got struck a couple times a game, yeah, sure, fine. You know, but getting struck over and over and over and over again. This game, man. This game. If you guys, I don't know how many of you play Battlefield, but I've been playing Battlefield 2042 a little bit, and there's a lot of problems with that game, but, oh, here's our fire chance. Oh, sick. Yeah, a lot of issues with Battlefield 2042. However, this game has a lot of issues too, and it's 6 years old. Oh, man. Okay, he's going after someone else finally. Let's go. Alright, let's try and hop back into B. I know I said I shouldn't be contesting caps. I really want to just be farming, but there's really not a lot to go after at the moment. I'm really sad I fat-fingered my heel on this one. We do have some support here, though. Our Shima's pushing up really aggressive, and our Freddy's really close by, so it's probably a decent opportunity to take this cap back. What would be here? I'm really not afraid of any of their DDs, so that's a Shima even. It's totally fine. Even though he's probably going to kill our Shima. It's just unfortunate. There's a Buffalo, so we got to watch out for that radar. I wonder, is he going to turn back in for the cap and try to spot me? I actually don't know. He looks like he's going to probably turn away. What we do want to torp, though, is probably right here, honestly. Oh, the Buffalo is radaring. Yeah, there's the cap reset. I was wondering, like, we're not actually getting reset. Oh, are you really coming after me again, dude? Holy crap, man. Holy crap, dude. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. This type of player. But hey, it's a game, so it doesn't really matter. You can see how the arcs are so amazing with the Grozovoi. So for gunfights, it's like pretty good to take longer range gunfights. You want to be cutting away. If you're pushing in a Grozovoi, like you're pushing into a DD, that's when you're going to have some serious issues. Depending on if the DD actually has DPM or not, of course. Because some of them just don't, and you can push them. But, you know, you're generally going to run into people that have okay DPM. So you're going to have to be a little careful around those guys. Looks like our team just kind of folded. Really not much to say about that, honestly. It's just how it goes. It's random battles, of course. You can't choose your teammates. And since we got harassed by the carrier a lot this game, I'm not really too upset about losing this one. It tends to happen when you're the primary focus of the carrier. It's really up to your teammates to carry the game out. So we'll go on to another one, and hopefully that one will go a little better, you know. Nice. You dodge that. This could hurt. Rupert's pretty accurate. Oh, he whiffed though. Nice. So we're not getting our bonus for... Oh, that Mosque was so gonna radar me. Holy crap, I'm dumb. Alright, let's go. Run away. Time to run. Run away. Turn our AA off, because we're gonna try and stay in stealth. Shima's there. Interesting. Can help on this. We got HP to play with a little bit here. No, did the Z46 smoke? Oh, that's bad. Oh, torpedoes. Let's go. Two torpedoes. Let's go. Moskva's hurt. We got to get out of here. Oh, we were just fast enough. That's awesome. Alright, just me left. Let's not make it last too long. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. And that's the game. I mean, we did 111k, honestly. That's pretty good. I'll take it. It's you know, it's World of Warships. It's an imbalanced game that you're not supposed to look too hard at the game design. You're just supposed to play and then insert your credit card a little bit here and there, and that's how you have a good time. So 115k. We got up to second on our team, Z46, but yeah, you can see who the carrier was going after. So we'll give him a little plays poorly since he's a carrier player. And he went after me the whole game. Not really helping his team all that much, but that is the reason why. But they won anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now, do I change my loadout? I don't think so. I think the gun build is really how it goes. I think the gun build's how it goes. And now I'm sure there's going to be a couple comments about, why are you reporting him? Well, reports do nothing, so it doesn't really matter, first of all. And second of all, you went after a AA destroyer who, I mean, is playing open water gunboating, so it doesn't really help to have me spotted all the time. It's just it's an annoyance to me, but it really doesn't help his team win, right? So that's a plays poorly if you're not helping your team win, right? So I think that makes a lot of sense. It's not just a, oh, he plays carrier, report him. That's not the whole story, at least. Anyways, I really hate that I constantly have to dwell on carriers in a lot of these videos. It's just difficult not to when they're in every match, and they tend to ruin a lot of the enjoyment in every match they're in. So you know, as long as carriers are busted like that, I guess, and they're in my matches and in these one takes, I got to give you my honest opinions and honest thoughts in these videos. You know, these aren't the multiple takes, multiple recordings, and going back and deleting voiceovers to make the perfect polished video, that kind of thing that I do in other videos where I go back and re-listen to what I say, and I try and make the video more positive. I think a lot of you who have actually stopped by my streams and that, you'll know that I'm pretty negative about this game a lot of the time on those streams, and that's unfortunately how I feel about the game. I think there's a really good base game here, surrounded in a lot of crap that ruins the experience. So it's difficult. I'm trying to keep it positive, but it's really difficult, man. It's really difficult. Anyways, on to the next one. Let's see if we can get a little better match out of this one. If it loads, of course. Please? Or did my internet crash again? I am on Starlink, if you guys are wondering. So every once in a while there's drops, that kind of thing. So there we go. Okay, we're good. So here we go. The core gameplay loop is here. Cruisers, destroyers, battleships. Let's see if we can have some fun. It is standard battle, so a little more geared towards farming. Delny? I guess that's the replacement for the Khaba. So we'll have to watch out for that. Probably is pretty decent. And Khaba, really. So these two are our main destroyer threats. And then we have, what, 2 radars? Yeah, 2 radars. It's not a huge deal to worry about. At least those radars are relatively easy to counter. And if you're wondering how you counter radar ships, you sit so you can detect them, but you're outside their radar range. So A Stalingrad has a 12-kilometer radar, but around a 14.1-kilometer detect. So you just sit between 12 and 14 kilometers, keep them spotted for your entire team to shoot at. Of course, it does involve some teamwork, which isn't always possible. But it can work, especially on the squishier ones, like Des Moines, for example. If we run into that guy, we'll just sit between 10.5 and 10 kilometers of him, and what's he gonna do, you know? What's he gonna do? It's really funny and very satisfying when you get those situations where you can just completely spot a radar cruiser, and you know he's radaring to try and spot you back, and he's just unable to because you're outside of his radar range. It's quite satisfying, but not always possible, of course, especially with island cover, all that stuff. And I think most players do try to use island cover as a radar cruiser. So I wouldn't be surprised, you know, our Salem's pushing up to this rock. Yeah, there's a Stalingrad pushing up to their side of the rock. So fair enough, it makes sense. So we're gonna have to go pretty wide here. And I think that's actually a good play, because it allows our Salem and maybe our Petro or GK or Ohio to play on this island, as long as they know what's coming. And as long as they can have a little heads up about what's coming up. Oh, there's a Khaba here. It is far more important to keep our HP here. You see how much that guy lost? Yeah, he literally lost his ship. So the reason I stopped and then started going again with my speed boost, it's to try and juke his shells, is what it comes down to. Okay, Stalingrad's here. That's fine. It's a pretty decent hit. See if we can avoid this one a little easier. Yeah, there's the dispersion. In fact, we'll just use a smoke so we can farm them out a little bit. Interestingly that we got spotted here, so the Shima's out here somewhere. Very interesting we got spotted there. I think that actually means I want to torp here for the Shima. And 26 seconds, we're going to get our heal. So I think we actually push a little bit aggressively here. It's difficult to push into a Shima when you have this kind of concealment. Especially when there's a Venezia Stalingrad around. Maybe we don't do this. We'll play passive. We'll play a little more passive than I was intending, but that's okay. Yeah, we really didn't want to lose our Salem there. It's really unfortunate that he ate all those torpedoes. Oh, the Des Moines pushed hyper aggressive too. Interesting. Yeah, so here's what we wanted to avoid, was being flat broadside to a Venezia Stalin. Here we go. You're seeing probably one of the reasons we're taking the accuracy mod. Because Grozovoi has pretty notoriously horrible accuracy. This Stalin is pretty focused on us. Oh, we got the RNG fire. Wow. Oh, he's on the border. Good old RNG. Good time, isn't it, Shima? Poor guy. That's rough. I mean, he kind of... You saw we got a incapacitation, so I wonder if we killed his engine or maybe his torp tubes. And that's why he repaired. But you shouldn't... You don't really want to repair in those scenarios. I'm doing a lot of DD hunting and killing right now, and that's really not what you want to do when you have the full gun build where you don't have concealment. Ah, there were torpedoes on the way for us. I guess that's what he was trying to do, or I don't know about do, but he was trying to catch us with, I think. For now, we're going to think about our internet and hoping that it doesn't just crash completely on us. Please. No. I don't know why, man. It's crashing a lot recently. It's crashing a lot. It seems to be fine when I'm, well, I mean, obviously it's fine when I'm doing buffered content, right? Like watching YouTube, but yeah, when I want to play a video game online, it crashes a lot. So, you know, Starlink certainly not perfect. That's for sure. There we go. We're back in. We're all good. There's the Venice. We have a huge spawning advantage here, so that's kind of the unfortunate thing where I want to be farming, but if we're doing that, we can't really keep everybody lit all the time. I'll shoot a little bit here and there. Really just hoping for a fire at this point. Nice, we got it. And interestingly, we go dark right away. So what that means, there's nothing here, right? Our detection would be our gun range, which is 14 something. That means there's nothing through here, which is like really good for us actually. I should continue farming this guy. I'm not sure why I wasn't shooting. I haven't played the Gunboat DD in a while. But certainly good to continue the farm. We're spotted. It's probably Venice. We slow down, use our speed boost to hopefully juke it. Speed boost again to juke the Venice. This is dangerous because Venice hurts a lot. In fact, he could one-shot me if he gets the right salvo. Now he's going to overlead because he missed behind us, so then we slow down. It's all a mind game. It really is all a mind game. And of course, you know, you're a destroyer, so you have a pretty huge advantage because you just... you're hard to hit relative to like a cruiser or something like that, but... Let's see, did he predict behind us or ahead of us this time? He didn't quite lead it enough. See, he thought I was going to slow down that time. So we mixed it up and we kept it full speed. Oh boy, we're getting a lot of spikes. Hopefully we don't crash again. That would be bad. My aim is quite horrible. Let's zoom out one tick. That can sometimes help. But the Monty's not even going to try and hit us. You see that? It's one of those things where, as a battleship player, you're like, well, I could go after him, but it's really not going to accomplish much. Could probably use the AP here, honestly. It's pretty solid stuff. We're using free look, which is right click, like right mouse button, to try and scan to see if this Venice is, I guess he's over here now, going to shoot at us. Because we are a little nervous about that, of course. And I'm not going to smoke, because, like, we could smoke here, because he'd be spotted by the Ohio. That's why I wasn't smoking earlier. But the main reason is we get an extra 10% DPM for being spotted this whole time, right? And we could always save our smoke for a better situation where we're lower on health, you know? Where we've used our last heal, that kind of thing. The arcs are really comfy on this thing. The dispersion's not so great. But that's really, this is really where Grozovoi is quite powerful. hopefully, is where you get these battleships that just push into you. You know, you can farm them out because you got relatively okay fire chance. We're not really demonstrating that at the moment, but I guess his damage control is still up. Oh no, Montana, you're gonna eat those torpedoes? I hope those have enough reach. Yeah, I think they do. Not the best torps in the world, but they still get the job done. They still definitely get the job done. You don't necessarily want to build for the torps on this thing, but you can definitely use them. It's one of the sad things about Khabarovsk, is you only have the 6-kilometer torps after the nerf. This was a long time ago, so you might not remember, but Khaba had 10-kilometer torps as well. And they weren't the most useful, but in situations like that where you're trying to kill a battleship that's pushing in, they're decent still. They're pretty decent. Let's use our speed boost to try and catch these guys a little bit before we win. You can see our Hergumo's capping, so it's probably game over here relatively quickly, but 2 not bad games, honestly, in the damage department. So full health Kerr first, running away. That's unfortunate. I really wanted to get a bit of damage off on him yet. And this Yamato is probably just going to die to our team, right? So that's why I'm not going after him. If you're talking about farming efficiency, right, you want to go try and catch things that are not going to be contested, right, for damage and fires and all that stuff. Come on, we just need a little more range. There we go, getting those hits. GK, of course, has a gigantic superstructure, so you can just get so much damage into him. Assuming you're aiming correctly. Alright, there goes one fire. He doesn't even have fire prevention. I wonder if he's... I wonder what build he's running. I've got a pretty dumb build that doesn't run fire prevention. It's not very smart, but it's kind of a fun meme build every once in a while. But fire prevention is very, very useful, especially for situations like this where you want to be... Wow, he's not even having his secondaries open up on me, so he's not really even a full secondary build either. In situations where a destroyer is farming you, right, and they can get all this full pen damage, they really want to hit your superstructure, right? Like, that's the goal of most destroyers that are trying to farm you, is that alpha damage as well as fires. And you can see, you can get if you get 2 fires, I mean, that's a ton of extra damage. Generally, DD players aren't going to go after your extremities because they're not going to get full pens there. But you want to have the... oh, I definitely wasn't paying attention. He's way farther away than I thought. But that's why fire prevention is quite valuable, right? You're not trying to get those fires on the stern or the bow because you're not going to get any full pen damage there. You can see we relit him up again instantly. It's, yeah, here comes the damage, right? Like, this is the dream, right? Having a GK to farm. This is a very, very, very juicy target for a ship like the Grozovoi. There's our Witherer. Probably mostly on this curve first, if I had to guess, since we didn't really get a ton of fire damage elsewhere. So, yeah. Grozovoi is a great, great, great farming ship. That's for sure. It's just not quite as good as maybe some of those newer DDs, right? Where they have a little more HP, a little better arcs, a little better accuracy, a little better fire chance, that kind of thing. But you have something they don't, which is decent torpedoes and a smoke as well, right? You got to consider those European DDs that I'm talking about don't have smokes, so they don't have that possibility of getting away quickly. There we go. Kerr first goes down. 188k. Not bad, honestly. And a Witherer. I'm glad I at least got to show the ability of the Grozovoi to farm, right? That first game was kind of the typical scenario where you don't want to play a DD. You don't want to be in a destroyer. But this one is a good match to be a destroyer in. It definitely goes around, right? You get some matches that don't go so well, and you get some that go really well. So that's kind of the Grozovoi gun build, I don't know if you'd really run this thing as a hybrid. Maybe you take extra concealment and give up... Maybe you give up gun range? You still have 12-something gun range? And you'd have decent concealment. Play it more like a gearing that's more focused on guns, I guess. I don't know, though, for sure. Taking advantage of these amazing arcs and the decent fire chance, it's really, really good at farming. So I think Grozovoi is a decent ship still these days, but it's not the best in the game, that's for sure. Some of those premium steel ships or the Research Bureau ships are a little bit better at farming, but it's still solid, honestly. You can see, oh, we just barely got a Witherer. Let's see, was it on the curve first? No. Monty contributed a bit. Where's our fires? Oh, Yamato, we got a fire on. That's right. That's right. So that's the Grozovoi. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. DDs, of course, can be a good time, and sometimes you feel like you're king of the world, like when we were fighting that Kerr first. What could he do, right? And then other times you realize how fragile and weak these things are. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoy these one takes. I'll probably end up doing a few more of them coming up as we approach next patch, and then I start playing the Schlieffen only. I'm just kidding, but I can't wait for Schlieffen coming out in the next couple weeks. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.